to the Velvet Room, a space for an open conversation about Black love, marriage, religion, and generational wealth. Sit back and relax and be prepared for a real discussion and open conversation. Like and subscribe.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey,
What's up?
Hello.
What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, folks? Yeah,
Chilling.
buddy. Yeah.
We're gonna have y'all back.
Like they in Jamaica somewhere talking about
Okay.
Good to have y'all.
We're gonna have y'all back. Welcome everybody to the Velvet Room.
Yeah, buddy.
Right.
It's like we ain't been together in a while.
Right.
2
Yeah,
weeks.
it's-
This will be 2 weeks, right? Something like that.
Yep.
This
about
last
2
week.
Yep.
We
So
still
let's
miss
play catch up.
but we here.
Let's play catch up. So what y'all been up to the last couple of weeks?
Oh, a lot.
Traveling, yeah, just doing stuff,
Living life, right?
living life.
Yeah, living life.
Well
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Like it's golden.
Yeah.
So did y'all see the game last night?
No, I didn't.
Y'all didn't see
Of
the game
course.
last night.
Of course. Of course.
I
What a
heard Duke
game.
won.
I was at
Can't
the
hear you more.
concert.
Can't hear you, Katisha. You got on mute.
Can you hear me
Who
now?
won? Was
Yes,
Yep,
we
now
can
we
hear
got
you.
Oh yes, definitely was there. I feel like I was at the game. Go Tar Heels. I'm so sorry if there are any Dookies on here. Be blessed.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
buddy.
It was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
It really was.
It's
It was
probably one of the best Final Four games in history.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And for
Yeah,
both
yeah.
Tobacco Roadhouse teams to be there, it was everything. It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
back and
And
forth.
it did not disappoint. That's the thing about
No,
it.
it did not
We
disappoint at
know.
all.
We know that
The,
when these two guys
the
play,
entire
it's
time,
always a good game. Always
the
a good game
whole
every
game
single time.
was good.
They got so
Yeah.
many good games. It's hard to even pick one good game, really, to be honest. This is
Wow.
what meant the most.
Yeah.
This is what meant the most.
Wow.
For both teams, actually, you're looking at Coach K going out, then Carolina coming to a new coach.
Yeah.
And they figured it out. They realized Carolina's the underdogs. I mean, they beat a lot of good rated teams. And it started with Duke. I think beating Duke at Cameron Indoor Stadium, that confidence, man, from that point on, that was a good game, man. I don't care. I'm a Duke fan. That was a good game.
Hands down. I couldn't move from the couch at all.
And it could go either way. Sometimes,
Yeah.
like momentum switch this way, there's then shift back the other way.
And somebody said, there's no losers that was individual. There was no loser on either team. But although a team had to win, but that means both sides gave their all, but somebody had to win. So that's what I like about it. Everybody was a winner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Therefore.
So,
All right. So what else? I think that somebody been having some fun doing a couple of concerts. Somebody's balling up in this piece.
raise your hand.
no.
Raise your hand.
We
Raise
have
your
to know her
hand.
name, but I think it started with Shinway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punchinella.
She didn't say what it started with. She said the whole
Who do
name.
you
It
do?
started with Shinway. That's all I'm saying. We gotta know the
I was
whole
at the
name.
concert last night. It was popping, y'all. New
This girl is
Edition.
partying like it's 1999. She calling me, I'm tired. I gotta do this, get this, I have to go this, do this. It's like I was tired listening. I was like, you know what? I'm asleep.
I had a crazy day yesterday. My girlfriend had the grand opening to her salon. It was amazing in Charlotte. And then my son had a competition of the bands,
Of the
4 different high
band, yeah.
schools. I was excited about that. And then the concert, New Edition, Jodeci and Charlie Wilson.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Charlie Wilson is not in his 70s. I mean, and he admitted to the audience that he could have canceled the Greensboro concert because he had 2 knee surgeries. But he decided not to cancel it, and all was the audience so grateful. He did an amazing show. He did it. Well, it's not my first time seeing him, but he always delivers.
That's good.
He played Gap Band stuff. He took it to the classics. He brought the new stuff. So it was good. It was good.
And the
Very
previous
good.
week he
Nice.
was at Maxwell concert,
Oh,
right?
the Maxwell concert. Yes.
Yeah.
That was good. Maxwell delivered, honey. That brother could move.
I thoroughly enjoyed the videos that she posted, so I appreciate that.
You
love.
saw how
Yeah.
fluid my brother is? He can move. But yeah, I forgot
We
who
did
else
get, we did get a little bit of the concert for free. Thank you. for
Yes.
posting.
I like it. I like it. Not as big as Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige, I had a lot of footage, but the Maxwell was good.
Hey, you
I
are
supposed,
really
to be going
good,
to,
man.
I supposed to be going to Kim and Babyface on the April the 10th, but I may not be able to. I may have to cancel those tickets.
I didn't see Babyface, but I've seen Kim before. Kim is amazing.
Really?
They're
He's
supposed to be
amazing.
together April the 10th down here in Orlando.
Oh,
that's
nice,
what's up.
nice. Okay, real quick, I want to transition into what's the topic, Anthony? When you
What pisses you off?
yes, that's
What's
it.
fine?
Okay,
What's on your
so
mind?
on the Tar Heels of concerts, what pisses me off is
What
when you
pisses
go
you
to
off?
You
what
off.
pisses me off when you go to a concert and people are sitting in other people's seats and they know that ain't their seat.
Hello?
That is not the
Yeah.
seat on their ticket.
That is not what
Yes.
it is.
Yeah.
It's not what it is.
But
And-
until you get there, I'm going to enjoy that little spot.
okay, I'm with
Exactly.
you, Anthony. But once you get there, get up. Why
Yeah.
you debating and you know it's not your seat?
And
Right.
get mad because you got to get up and then pay for
Right.
the ticket.
Right.
Like, you ain't
I
just give up your
experienced that
point.
at a Beyonce concert. It's like, yo, those are not your seats. Like, why are you mad? Move.
Oh God!
Right.
I went to the
Yeah.
Beyonce concert. I was in the bleeding up, but it was still a good. Did you go to the one in Raleigh when it rained?
Yes, and I was out there in the
I was
rain.
there in
It
the
was
rain.
everything. It was
Hey,
Be
Robert, I
high.
think Rob said he went to the New Edition concert in Charlotte too, I think.
Oh, awesome! Hey, y'all chiming in. New edition in Charlotte. Yeah.
Let me tap on what pisses you off. Although my mama said I can't say piss again, I got to say what tips me
Even
off. What
Even though
tips
you
me
just
off.
said it. You just said
My
it.
mama said what
Gotcha.
tips me off. And just to piggyback on what Shinway said, I was on a flight about a week and a half ago, coming back from seeing my boys, and you know that on the airplane, you know there are empty seats. So after everybody got on the plane, they closed the door. I decided that I'm gonna go in front because won't nobody sitting in the exit row.
you put a concert seat move, okay.
Nobody sitting in the exit row, meaning nobody else was coming. So this is a little bit different. So the guy said you can't sit there. I said why? He said because those are upgrade seats. I said ain't nobody else getting on the plane. He said I know, but those are upgrade seats. You mean the exit row? You would think they would want somebody in the exit row, you know, to help out in case there was.
They
He said
usually
no.
ask someone to volunteer.
Exactly. Nobody was sitting in no exit rows in front of me on both sides. So I
I
had to
don't
go
like
back.
those seats. I don't like you. You comfortable with being the person to open the door if the plane going down?
I'm
I don't
comfortable
like
with
those seats.
my legs spread out.
Okay, you said the plane
Right,
ain't never
yeah.
going down when you on
Right.
it. That's what you said.
Hey, I was in
Right.
the middle. I was in the middle of two women, so you know that row was full. So I wanted to go and relax, you know, spread
Yeah.
my wings,
Yeah.
spread my wings.
Right.
But
I went to Jersey last weekend and there was three seats and I had the seat next to the window. I fell asleep, guys. I woke up and the guy that was sitting next to me was gone. So when I caught eye with him again, he was like 3 seats up. I caught him when we was getting our back. He gave me a nasty look. So he must have moved. I think I was snoring. So he took another seat. I ain't mad because you moved because
Bless your heart.
You were tired. Look, you've been moving.
He looked at me now. I was like, I'm not mad. You got another seat. I had more room. It worked out. So
Right. Right.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm laughing at something because my sister tunes into the show, and she has a nickname for Eric, and she just posted it.
Sprinkles.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, okay, Sprinkles.
What's up,
what is
Tanya?
happening?
What's up, Tanya?
Yeah,
Oh, she
Eve
called
better
me
known as
Sprinkles?
Sprinkles.
Yeah.
That's my
yeah.
nickname?
Yeah, you
That's what
upset
Tanya calls you
last
every
time.
week.
Even on the
Yeah.
other show, she
Yeah,
called you
she calls you
Sprinkles then.
Sprinkles every week.
she's
Oh.
sweet. Me and Jim
Well,
got to meet her at the party. She's
Well, I am edible.
Right.
Excuse
So
me.
you say, so you
am
say.
I.
Okay.
Am I? Am I?
All right, you guys, we're going to move right along to, let's see what's going on in the news.
Hey, Denise.
Hey, Denise.
Check out what's
Denise
going on in the
Abney.
news today. Here we go.
And now it's time for the news. Hot topics. Hot topics.
Yo, you already heard. You already heard.
Oh.
Yeah, your boy. It's a Tar Heel. Go ahead, beat that dude.
You're so
Yeah, baby.
over
81 to 77. We already talked about it, but I want to recognize it for the hot topics of the day, baby. Yeah, baby. Get your gear. Yeah, it's on sale now in stores near you. Get your
Not on sale.
gear, baby. Finals coming tomorrow, Monday against Kansas. It's gonna be a good game. Come on, North Carolina, you got to do it. So, yo, I want to take my hat off to the North Carolina Tar Heels and the group
see
for
you.
outstanding game. Yeah. Next hot topic. Let me tell y'all, it's good to see y'all, by the way. But
Good to see you too.
Oh, thank you so much. One of the hot topics that I want to talk about is this professor from the Georgia State University called the police on 2 black students for showing up 2 minutes late to her class.
What?
Called the police. She stopped. All they did was the door was open. They went to their seat. She said, no, y'all can't be here. He said, why not? He said, we pay you to be here. We paying to come to school. He said, well, you late to my class, 2 minutes late. You need to leave. They said, well, we're not leaving because we paid it. So she left and came back with 2 police officers. And now this was a black professor. So when you call the police on black students, police gonna come running or whatever case may be. Luckily, they weren't arrested, and it's an investigation that's going on. But I can't believe it. A black
That's a waste
professor.
of public dollars. That's a waste of public dollars. There's a real
Yes, it
crime
is.
going somewhere.
Exactly.
Yes, it is. Georgia State University, Professor Carissa Gray is her name.
Put a name out there.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Hey, it's all over. It's all over the media. So,
And I can understand you have a policy on tardiness, but shut your door. Like that, your students aware that there is a no late policy, and close the door. And if they don't follow that policy, take their names and then report them to student affairs or to the dean. But that, to me, that's extreme. That's extreme. They weren't disruptive. They came in and sat down and they didn't leave like you asked. Like, okay, give me your information and we'll handle it.
Yeah.
Right.
But
that was extreme.
Yeah. Hey, another thing that's in the news, before we get to the main topic, I just want to throw this out there. There was a Rihanna lookalike. A Rihanna lookalike that was pregnant, and she was walking the streets in Brazil. So she was getting a lot of people coming up to her, and a lot of people start corralling her and everything. And
Was
she
she
was
pregnant?
really, the woman was pregnant, and she was posing. Matter of fact, she had security guards and everything. So she was signing autographs, and
she was playing.
She was an imposter.
No, the people knew that she wasn't the real Rihanna, but they just like her because she looked just like her.
Yeah.
So you know,
Yeah.
it kind of it stopped hundred. It said it stopped hundreds of Brazilians fans from you know that came around her. So I thought maybe that was a trip. Rihanna got a kick out of it. I mean, Rihanna got a kick out of that. But last but not least, the final topic of the day. You know, I know it's old, but there's some updated information about Will and Chris Rock. A lot of people thought maybe it was fake. Some people say it's real. But according to the news, which is not a credible source, it tends to be that he actually slapped him. And from what I read about it, Denzel Washington went up to Will Smith afterwards and prayed with him, along with Tyler Perry and some other people, because of the situation that took place on how the devil can easily come in and take a hold of you. But Will Smith, he said he did resign from the Academy of Motion Pictures Artists and Science, that he resigned, that he don't want to, and he's willing to take whatever other punishment that may come his way. Yeah, taking accountability for his actions. But you know, so what y'all think about that?
What do you say? You said he resigned? He resigned.
He resigned from showing
receiving
up
any.
I don't.
Any
resigned from
awards.
showing up at the Academy.
They were probably going to do that anyway. So he just beat
them to the punch.
They were probably going to ban him for a few years. I'm guessing from coming to the awards.
Yeah.
I just wasn't moved by this story.
Really?
I just wasn't moved by. No, I didn't get. No, I wasn't moved by it. Just
move. What you mean by move?
People's problems. It just didn't move me. It didn't move me. I didn't buy it. It just didn't move me.
Seeing another man slap another man at the Oscars
did problems. I don't care.
Really?
I didn't care. I just was like, yeah, whatever.
It was shocking. It was very shocking in an environment where some are considered the upper echelon of Hollywood, you know, because you're
the best of the best.
Ball gowns, right? So I think there's a certain level of behavior that's expected, which is probably why they don't have security around the stage, because that is not the typical behavior that one would expect, you know. So definitely a shock value.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you segued into it a little bit, because I must say I was super excited. I know this is not the topic for this week, but I was just curious to hear your thoughts on it, because everyone is so conflicted. I would love to hear a man's point of view, a woman's point of view. I mean, things like this is teaching moments, I feel. So even if you don't think it's important, being a mother of two boys, right? And even if I was a mother of a daughter, I just think this is a great opportunity for teaching moments, not only for young people, but for everyone alike, men, women, everyone, young, old. So I don't want to drain it. I know we got to move into other things, but
I'm gonna say this real quick. I think that we really been really hard on Will. I think that it didn't look. We never seen nothing like that before, to be honest. But either way, he would have went. He was right at a thin line between what's right and what's wrong, and both ways could have been wrong, both ways could have been right, because he did take. Nobody acknowledging the fact that he took up for his wife. Still, regardless of what we have to judge, he still took upon himself to take it for his wife. The thing is, somebody said that, okay, even I thought he could have waited till he got backstage. Yeah, but his wife was embarrassed backstage. She was embarrassed publicly in front of everybody. And so sometimes it's a thin line between your jokes ain't always gonna be funny for joking on people, because you never know what they're dealing with. So Benny, he went there and did it. It's like, oh, but then women said, well, I want a brand to protect me. He stood up for her. So at the end of the day, that's the only person's opinion, whether or not that was right or wrong. I think he did what was right for him.
Anthony, I'm surprised that's the comment. I'm surprised that's your stance. Wow, thanks for sharing.
I mean, it can go either way. That. You know what I'm saying? It can go. Do that for them.
Yes,
it can go either way. It can go either way, but you know, I look at it kind of like the total opposite. I mean, you're a professor. You're a professional, and you are. He in some way is a comedian, And I do know that comedians, they have a thin line on whether or not they're going to tip this way or not go that way. And it's kind of hard to be a comedian because every comedian talks about somebody. And when you looked at it, everybody laughed when he said what he said. I'm not saying it was appropriate to talk about somebody's illness, but I really feel as though it was a joke. I mean, it was a joke. How many? Yeah. No comedian would be successful if they weren't talking about somebody. Whether it's somebody, the way they look, whether it's somebody's size, whether it's somebody's age, whatever case may be, he didn't go on and on and on and talk about her. He didn't talk about her illness. He just talked about her shaved head.
I got talked about at a computer place. He pointed me out and went on to talk about her.
Someone's in the background.
Somebody has too much background.
Oh, it sounds like an echo of what we just said.
Yeah.
But it's continuing.
Yeah.
Maybe we should mute and figure out where it's coming from.
Where it's probably coming from.
Is it Jimmy?
It just stopped. I thought
it's gone now.
It stopped.
Okay, great.
Okay. Sorry about that. We'll just get that straight. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think you're wrong, Eric. I just think that he was just in a tough position. I think either way, he could have got judged for not saying something.
How do we supposed to act? I posted something about what if a cop got mad at somebody saying that they're fat or their wife is a bitch, whatever case may be, and he took it personal.
Yeah.
What if he retaliated?
Let me say this. Let's say somebody would call her a bitch. And what is your stand? I mean, either way it's disrespected. So either you're gonna walk away
regardless.
And let go ahead, Jimmy.
He was hurt. He's hurt. She had him all jacked up in the head. The joke meant nothing. The joke had nothing to do with nothing. His head was torn down. And as soon as she made that face, he was like, I need to be Tupac. I need to be Tupac. So he ran him on stage and smacked him in the face.
Why had to go there, Jimmy? Why had to go there, Jimmy?
I'm going to straight up. But you know what we're not highlighting? What we need to highlight the most is the reaction from Chris Rock.
Yeah.
You don't see black men get this smack and humble themselves and say, you know what? It is what it is. Let's get the show going.
Yo, he was good, man. The way he acted.
Highlight that. That is professional right there.
It couldn't be done no better.
In fact, he got a third show in Greensboro. He had to do a third show.
Did you hear what his ticket sales did since the incident?
Yeah,
it went up.
Right.
$50-$60. Yes, up to $600 tickets now.
Right. I think it was twofold. I feel like it's one. He did laugh. He laughed when everybody laughed. When he looked at Jada, she wasn't laughing, right? And so I said two things.
He did. When he saw Jada, it was
right. It was no longer funny. And I say this: the woman has suffered from alopecia, right? So for any woman, they knows that's hard. Because a woman's crown, is
her hair.
So her hair. Mm-hmm. So she cut her hair. Not because she wanted to, but because she had to. And so she's trying to embrace it, right? Here? Hold on, Jamie, let me finish. I said it's twofold now.
She accepted.
He has seen her cry about it, right? So in that moment, she did not feel protected because you look around, everybody's laughing.
That's bold.
He was damned if he did, and he damned if he didn't.
She got a whole show about her hair.
Jamie, can I finish?
Oh my goodness.
Can I finish? You're not letting me finish, brother. So I said it's twofold. That's one part of it. The other part of it is that Chris caught all the backlash from Will being emasculated over the last year and a half due to Jada's shiggity. So I think that's the other part. I feel like Chris was the fall guy for everything.
So you're in agreement with Jim there, because that's
right. That's why I said let me finish. He was ready to cut me out.
That's basically what Jimmy
But
said.
I'm saying, is a woman's crown really their hair?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The woman's
serious?
crown is her
That
mind.
part. And then
Yeah,
it should,
ask
that's
the
really
woman.
Pizza,
that
thank
should
you,
be
pizza,
suffered
thank you,
It's different
pizza,
for
thank you.
men, but from a
No.
woman's perspective,
Thank
you
you,
have to
Jesus.
work with
Metaphorically,
something
it's her
else.
mind,
Yeah.
but physically to the metaphorically
Meta
it's her mind, but
A crown is some
physically it's her
serious thing.
hair.
So y'all got multiple crowns then?
We do.
Yes.
That's crazy. Because
We
a man
do.
has
It's
one.
not.
We do. And let me tell you something
Because
else.
you're being funny now.
like him.
Another crown.
Like him.
Another crown. No disrespect.
Y'all
Another
crowns
crown
come
is
in
good pussy. Another
synthetic.
crown is
Y'all
good
crowns come
pussy.
in
And yet it
authentic
still has hair.
horse,
And that has hair.
camel. Like, man, come on, man. Y'all got all types of synthetic crowns. What
No,
are you at? Come on.
Another crown is being able to cook in the kitchen. No, we wear many hats.
Yes.
We do. And it's
And Jimmy, you may
metaphorically.
not understand it, but you're hearing it from
No.
four different-
I understand what y'all trying to say about your hair being on top of the crown.
That's right.
But the thing is,
thing
Disa,
about it-
thank you very much. The crown is your mind. The crown is how you present yourself. It's not your hairs.
Yeah.
You see both plural
That is
hairs,
your perception.
not your hairs.
You have a different, but some women have a different.
But ladies,
perception. We hear you.
ladies,
But
back in
perception is
2018,
reality. It is how we perceive it.
back in
That's
2018, she
the
did a
thing.
video. She did a video and she said, "You know what? I don't care what people say about me. I love my baldness." That was 2018. So why all of a sudden she gets sensitive
All of a sudden.
on a joke? And in fact, anybody ever thought about since Will laughed, he should have slapped himself.
That
He
would
laughed.
have
He
been
should have slapped
entertaining.
himself. Because that
I
means
told you, it
Yeah,
was
that one.
Why would he smack
Whatever
himself?
he got
E?
home.
Why would he smack himself? E?
No, but it's a good point.
because
Because
instead
they
of
like
taking
to
it out on
joke.
somebody
He like
else,
to
joke too.
instead of taking it out on somebody else, slap yourself.
He
That's
should
why I
have
said
said,
it wasn't
he
all
should have
about
told her to
that.
fix
It
her
was-
face. It's just a show.
Yeah,
Kept it moving.
Yeah.
That's what he should have
I
did.
can't
Jimmy,
take
Sit
Jimmy
down,
right
cut
now.
your stuff.
I'm not.
Hold on.
Don't at the cookout. Jimmy,
Charity,
on.
how you feel about it, Charity?
Let's share. She's a new one right now. So, Cherry, how do you feel?
I think
Is
she
there a
frozen.
freeze?
Oh no, she's
Yeah.
She taking high school pictures right now.
I think I-
But go ahead, we can hear you.
Okay. I can't take Jimmy. Jimmy's the
Are you
uncle at the
hearing what I'm
cookout right
saying?
now.
I do not want to interrupt because I don't. However, number one, I don't believe she has alopecia. Number two, even if she did, that like you said, that's not the problem. That's not the real issue.
Exactly.
It's not. As much money as they have, if she have issues with her hair and she don't want anybody to joke about her hair, she can fix that.
Yeah.
Number three, as
Yeah,
much
go on.
bleach and stuff that she's been putting in her hair over time, that's not alopecia, boo boo. You damaged your hair, now you're going bald. So yes, you deserve to be laughed at.
Okay, I never heard it from that way, but I understand.
I mean, that's just me. So I feel like everybody's giving Jada too much power in this
Yeah.
situation. And she's already had too much power over Will, which, like you said, he was laughing at first. He thought the joke was funny. I thought the joke was funny. Oh, I thought it was cute. G.I. Jane, whatever, G.I. Jane 2. I thought it was cute. But because she had an attitude, and then I
Muster up.
guess she felt like, well, I'm going to get it when I get home. I better do something about the
She
situation.
messed that good movie opportunity up right there. She messed
Hey,
it all
hey,
up. They could
Anthony.
have had another bag. She wasn't acting at the time. She could have played G.I. Jane 2.
Yes.
She messed that whole bag up.
Yes.
And she was sensitive.
And for what?
Hey,
She
you,
had
hey, you know what,
attitude.
Charity? You know what, Charity? I read something about her hair. When she was coming up, she didn't like her hair to be straightened. But for the TV, they wanted her hair to be a certain way. They wanted certain chemicals on her hair to make it this way, to make it that way. And she kept saying, no, I like my hair natural in the natural. So you got some truth to that, because it could have been products that was in her hair over the years.
That's
that
all
probably
it was.
damaged her hair.
Because if you
And her hair
you
was
look at her
already
hair
fine,
now-
so her
Yeah.
hair was already
But I mean,
fine.
if she has
You believe it that way.
alopecia, I know what alopecia is. I have alopecia, and I'm not afraid of it. I don't care who joke about it. I don't care because I've had it my whole life. I know what alopecia is. But when you look at her shaved head, you don't see spots. There's hair all over there. You got
I was
peach
looking
fuzz
for that
all
too.
over that little bitty head. Don't do that.
Well, now can they get these little procedure done that's like stitch or something where Because actually, Ricky
Yes,
Bell knew
that's
this.
what I'm
He
saying.
had
Got
to
all
What
this
you
money.
go buy
Wait,
some kitty from the store.
right,
It is
but
bomb
the
product
way
for
y'all said it,
alopecia.
right?
It'll get rid of it all.
The way
What'd you say,
y'all
Jimmy?
said it, right? Couldn't she just
Exactly.
wear it as a crown?
Say it
Couldn't she
again,
just
Jay.
wear
Tell
that
Jay
as
to
a
buy
crown?
some kitty. It's done.
So look, tell you guys
Okay.
what. This one is not even the topic of today. So
Right? It's a took over the
It-
topic.
No, but
it
it
could be
becoming
though.
the topic.
Right.
But we still got 30 minutes to hit the topic.
right. The topic of the day is going to be discipline our children in the 21st century, to spank or not to spank. Personally, I say whoop their ass. That's what
Think
I'm
them all.
Yeah.
I'm from
in
that
agreement.
school.
Yeah.
But me and my ex-wife, we have had some differences as far as how we deal with our two kids. And I think over the years, she used to be more stricter one, and then she got to be a little more lenient later. And now I'm still trying to
Got older.
stay consistent with it. I think that we were put as black people put in a bad position when we came to this country. I think that we just always had this advantage. So when we grew up, most of us grew up the same way. Just a lot of common things we knew what poor people did. So then we got these better jobs, we got better houses, better cars, and we try to give them what we couldn't have. And we spoiled them to the point where I don't think they're as mentally as strong as we are in a lot of different ways. And I don't think they get spankings as much as we do. But I still think it's needed, probably more in the earlier years. When they get closer to like preteen, probably start slowing down. But by that time, they should get it. And I personally think that ass whooping, you can tell them a million times, but that switch or that belt will make you remember real quick. It's called respect.
Right.
That's where you get your respect from. That belt and that switch to me.
Yeah, that rod. Right.
Yes,
I
sir.
still get a tickle in my butt every time I make the wrong decision.
I like that.
What y'all think?
Jessica
A
said,
tickle.
"Yes, whoop them."
Yes,
Yeah, I used to
absolute.
get the whoopings, man.
Yep,
Oh my God.
yep.
I have.
So
Yeah.
if I may,
Go ahead,
if
Shinway.
I may, just to play devil's advocate, I'm pro spankings as well. Let me first give that as a disclaimer. However, I
Thank
do
you very much.
believe that discipline and spanking is not the same thing. And I think
Absolutely.
that it's essential that we discipline our children and we give them directive and instruction. And I think it's important that if you are just hitting someone, because a spanking is hitting, and you don't have a relationship with this person, it's going to be counterproductive. So
Right.
if you are only responding to the hit and you don't fully understand why you're being hit outside of I did something my mother told me not to do or my father told me not to do, what happens when you're in a position when you don't have to listen to your mommy and daddy anymore? So I think it's important that we discipline our children and we raise our children, and we are having building our relationships with them and helping them to understand why I'm here and you're there. For them to be in a situation where they can understand why, wow, this really is wisdom. This is really something different than what my friends or even my teachers can give me.
Right.
So the value on grandma's wisdom, that's given to you from your parents, from your family.
Right.
So I wanted to present that to the panel. What do you guys feel in terms of, do you look at, let me pose this question, do you look at spanking or hitting a child as sound discipline? Is that discipline to you?
I will have to say, Shinway, I agree with you. Discipline, I feel there is a difference between discipline and beating. There has to be levels. I feel there are levels to discipline. I don't believe that it doesn't cause for what I call laying hands. There are times I have to tell my daughter, next time you're gonna catch hands. I don't want to have this be the season of laying hands. And when I'm speaking like that, that means that we've had several conversations. Like Jessica said, it's important for them to know the why. So the first time there is an issue, a problem, or something that was wrong, I first make sure they understood that was a wrong. Okay, we have a discussion. So I don't believe for every first offense, it requires a certain level of discipline. And as you said, you want to build a relationship. you're building this relationship with your child. You're trying to teach them right or wrong. And a lot of times I feel like when we were growing up, we were thought to assume that you should have just have known. And if no one gave us instructions of why it's wrong, it probably was wrong, but what was the consequence to follow? Yes. So for me, typically a first offense is a conversation. Depending on how bad their first offense was. Their first offense could have been like, well, you knew better. But every offense does not require laying hands. It does not. We're not in slavery. You know, I do believe in spankings, but growing up, I had to think about why I was getting up off the floor. I wasn't always told why, but I just knew, I probably shouldn't have did that, even though I don't really know everything.
You knew why though?
I probably.
Oh yeah.
Let me stay away from.
Yeah, you knew why.
No, sometimes no. Sometimes you gotta just because they thought you was gonna do it. That's how I grew up. Like if you thinking about
you must have been really bad
like
then.
Thinking about you was gonna do that. So
I'm used to you being bad. You do it.
They got you. They beat you to the punch.
Man, to the punch, or for what they thought my brother did.
Literally.
My brother did something, he gonna get it because
I've been through that. I've been through that
That's
one.
rough.
So again, and it could a lot of. I think a lot of our behavior is based on our history. I say that almost every show. And again, this is the way I raised my child is based on my history. Yes, gyms. I do believe that there are times that I've spoken enough. I'm not talking no more. Catching hands. And that has been demonstrated, but it has to be levels. It has to be a discussion, a conversation, and levels of discipline before it's laying hands every single time, because that child can grow up to resent you. Mm-hmm. Like the only way you show me love is that you put hands on me. Yeah. So
yeah.
But so you do agree with the spanking?
Oh,
yes.
I have done it. Still do it. The hands are just different. I'm not using the belts and stuff.
I got a question for you.
Right. Now let me go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You start first.
Well, all right. Speaking of like discipline, right? Nowadays, you'll see discipline with only one parent in the home. Mm-hmm. How do y'all feel about it just being mothers spanking their kids and not having a father around for that voice? That way you don't need to have a spanking, because usually it's the father's voice that puts them in check.
That is true.
I will agree with
but
that.
A lot of families don't have fathers anymore in the home to even experience that.
I agree with that.
But yeah, it is a father's voice. But with me, besides the voice, I only got 2 spankings from my father in my whole life. My mom, I got so many of it's ridiculous. Yeah. Here's 1 or 2. Mine, all my moms put together. I thought this man was crazy. Well, I tell you, he got my respect. He got my freaking respect.
Yeah, he did. He knew how to get it.
But when I got older, though, I respected him. And so I realized, especially with men, you have to, like, even when I discipline out my kids, there's first I'm going to tell you. The second time, I'm going to give you a warning. The third time, okay, now you're playing with me. The third time, you're going to get it. And so I don't always believe this talking back and just talk all the time. You have to raise the level each time so they know. That way you sort of get a little bit of control. They got a chance to get themselves right. Mm-hmm. So by the time I get you, there is no excuse. I'm not wrong because I already gave you the warning and I told you what was going to happen if you don't get yourself straight.
Yeah.
And now, I totally agree with that. Single mom of a son with no male in the house, it is very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Charity.
Yes, it is very difficult.
Well, I agree too with I guess having that whole conversation. Like, I already taught you this part. Now you're gonna get a warning because I already told you this, and then if necessary, we'll go into the spanking part. I've been in the early childhood education for 16 years now, and I have learned, like with my kids are 6 and 9. I probably spanked my daughter twice. She's 9. And my son like once because he's a boy. But being in this field, I learned that children pick up things early on. So if you teach them, even in the womb, you can teach them certain things.
It's the early years that's really where most of it starts. The early years.
It's like that saying, you teach a child don't touch the hot stove. They're gonna touch the hot stove because they're curious to see what the hot stove gonna do, whatever. But at least you taught them that, hey, I told you, now you gotta suffer the consequences. But I feel like if you teach them early on, in my own experience, I teach my children how to, act in public, how to respect their elders and things like that. I don't have problems. They're not perfect.
Yeah.
They get on my nerves, but they're not perfect. But you know, if you teach them early on, you can eliminate all the spankings and the beatings, and
It's
you know,
early
I
on, man.
can't
That's
see
the most important
myself.
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a 30.
I-
I have a 30, 24, 20, and a 10. And I wanted to put that out there because, yeah, you teach them early on, like most of us do, and then they gravitate. They start taking their own journey. So you may not have whooped them while they're young, or you may have whooped them while they're young, and then you may have to change how you discipline your children as they grow, because you're not going to be able to maintain that same type of I whoop your ass then, and they're 15 and I'm whooping your ass now. Like, no, that and having a male, like, I don't want to even come to you like that, because they need to learn how to have a healthy relations with women, and especially as the male grows older. You know, so it's like having this collaboration of understanding with each other, opposed to me coming to him in that kind of hostile, like, I'm getting ready to whoop your ass type of way. Sometimes that's the case and it's necessary, and then sometimes it's like, okay, we're gonna have to have, you know, communication so that they get the understanding. With the girls, sometimes, you know, people have their different experiences. I didn't have to whoop my girls much at all. But boys, on the other hand, boys will be
It's
boys
different.
for me.
Yeah.
And
It's different.
I had to go in a little bit more with him, a little bit, you know, and his experiences were different, you know, than girls, and how they go through things and how they view things differently, and what they're exposed to is different than maybe what girls are. So yeah, you know,
Glory said spread a rod.
Yeah.
Now I'm a go ahead.
Go ahead, E. No, you go ahead, E.
Now I'm a byproduct of everything that hangs, that dangle, that sits out straight. I done got hit with it all. I mean, from a hair sprayer that you hook up to the sink, to drop cord, to switches, just like braided, like charity hair is braided. You name it, I done got hit with everything. But
hold up. My sister, come out. Listen, y'all. My sister said daddy didn't play. How do you know you didn't get one? You wanted lucky ones and didn't get no spanking, so you don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
Now let me answer Jimmy's question. Jimmy, I grew up. My father, he stayed in the same town, but he didn't live in the household ever since I can ever remember. But my mom, she whooped me so much when she got tired, she would call him. She would call him and tell him, come get him. And I knew that I was going to get a whooping by him. But we'll go play basketball.
Oh, no, he didn't set you up, Eric. No, he didn't set you up.
We'll go get ice cream. We'll go to the house. We'll watch TV. Yeah, I take a bath. I get ready to go to bed, turn out the light. Within 30 seconds, he turned it on. He said, son, you know now. You know I got to whoop you.
Why you had to do that to Eric?
You know I had to whoop you. I said, you got to whoop me through all that. We was buddies. We were dancing. And you gonna do me like that? So I got up and and you know, I stood there and I took it. But let me ask you this question. Have you ever thought about the way that you was disciplined coming up, and so you apply those same things to your children? Have you ever thought about, as parents, sometimes we live in a box when it comes to discipline? What do I mean by that? We live in a box because we only knew how we was treated and what worked for us. But I did some research on my son about within a year ago and wondered why he kept lying so much. His mom kept calling me, wondering why he kept lying so much. And she would beat him. She would tear his butt up. I hope she ain't looking at this. But anyway, she would tear his butt up, wonder why he kept lying. So I did some research and I found that kids in certain ages, they don't lie to tell a lie. They lie to try to make themselves feel good about the situation, to try to keep from getting in trouble, to try to cause less harm. So it was a reason why he lied, but at the same time, she wasn't having that. So if you ever research, there's different age category on why people do certain things. And it's because it's not intentionally to hurt or harm somebody. It's because they want to feel good. And sometimes we have to get an understanding of why they're going through what they're going through. And then, like you said, talk to them, have conversation. And then if they don't get an understanding, then you go to the next level.
I was going to piggyback off of that one. I think it's more not the kids nowadays. I think we have to use more psychological. We have to pay attention, things are totally different from when we grew up, man.
Totally different.
We need to be, trust me, we need to be, because we had too much energy doing anything. We went outside doing the wrong shit. But now it's like they see so much. It's so different, and they grow up so fast that we have to grow up with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like the things they're learning, we have to learn with them. And that's what I was going to ask you guys. Like, do you guys really like nowadays? I don't think kids should have privacy whatsoever.
No,
you know
no.
Not because there's so many minutes in the day to find out so much information that, you know what I mean? It's so easy to find out anything, and it should be no, like, I don't believe in the closed doors. I'm like, why need to have my kids? You're in my whole space. You know, because once you do that, you'll see the difference in what they do, and then with their time. You know what I mean? Because nobody goes outside and plays anymore. It's all games, internet, messing with your head, things that mess with your head. Plain and simple. Nobody even knows what a leaf smells like anymore. You know what I mean?
At fast food places, right? When you have the young people working, to me, I'm just being honest. To me, it's like mentally we were a lot tougher. I'm just being honest. And then they can't deal with the stuff that we can. They break easy. And I think that we're supposed to make it not easy for them, but hard. We're supposed to prepare them for the world. I think that when we just always let them dictate how we're going to do them, they're really controlling us. Right. These are same thing. Go to the military. These are the guidelines. You have to do this in order to succeed. And sometimes it doesn't really matter what you do, as long as they're successful, is the key. That's all it is. It doesn't matter if you get a spanking or not. If they work for their child, because to be honest with you, think about this. Michael Jackson, the biggest superstar in the world. People don't even give Joe enough credit. But he out of 9 kids, he had 9 successful kids. 9.
Yes. Yep.
You know, even though he beat Michael Jackson, think about it now. No. Michael Jackson, he worked so hard.
Of their mental health.
There you go.
You know, honestly speaking,
successful with money,
everybody is taking something. Everybody's mentally going through something. I'll keep it real.
But all your kids got mental health issues.
But we don't know. That's on a matter of opinion. But still, what I'm saying is that he worked them to the point where that working hard came easy for Michael Jackson because of his discipline. That's why he was so. It's all about discipline. So sometimes it doesn't matter to me what a discipline it is, as long as it works. It doesn't matter whether you beat or not. But sometimes there's a difference between the way the kids are raised now, though, because I see in the workplace they quit jobs really easy. They just don't have it. So we can keep talking to them, but is it better? That's why I compare it to, because those ways are old. But look at the grind and stuff, the hustle that we had.
Yeah,
Anthony, can I say something? Can I?
Anthony, I just want to say a small thing. Do you think? I know you saying we were stronger, but we didn't have as much distraction as they do today. And I think that's a big thing that kind of.
And the parents are more distracted too, by the way.
Wait a minute. Perfect example: bullying, right? We know how it takes now. Back in the day, when somebody bullied you, this had nothing to do with that. Sooner or later, you realize I got to fight for myself. I got to man up. I got to woman up. I ain't gonna let this person keep picking on all. But now the way we are softer society. You can't stand up to that person. So mentally, I think we were, because we had no choice but to deal with the issues. Because like even with anxiety, nobody was taking anxiety pills back then. But look at we taking it now. So it's not like we didn't have it. What people haven't changed. We probably still were going through it then, but we found a way to get through it. There's a difference.
Go ahead, Shanway, before I can go.
Yeah, man, you guys hit on so many good points. I mean, everyone did. I don't even know where to begin. I totally agree. One, with Eric, I'm going to say, I often now as an adult say, I don't lie because people usually lie out of fear. And I don't fear anyone. So I find myself not lying as much as I see other adults. So I think you hit that dead on with that.
Right.
Second, love the aspect about early education. Oh my God. Because what's happening, what we're seeing, I come from a family of teachers, educators, and administrators, is that the culture that we have for our teachers and our educators is that they're raising our children. And so the things and the morale, the discipline that our children should be getting early on at home, they don't start getting challenged with things and concepts until they go to school. So
well,
here it is, someone's telling me
That
is a problem. Here it is,
Right.
someone is introducing me to the concept of no. No one's never told me no. And
Right.
if they
And
tell me
structure.
no, right.
Yes.
So, oh my God, I really
I can
appreciate
attest to that as a
her
teacher.
background. Yes. And I have teachers in my family, sister friends. I mean, so you're dead on with that. And then lastly, with Anthony, with mental stability, I always like to go to the core of a word. So I'm just going to read the definition of discipline for everyone. Discipline, and this is based on Google's definition, the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior, using punishment to correct disobedience. And so what we don't realize, and this is why spankings can't be the only form of discipline, like I was saying earlier, we're training.
Right.
We are training these children to obey rules. And so if we are not providing this training, their mental stability is weak because their sense of identity is coming from social media. It's coming from the world. It's coming from sources outside of our home that sometimes their culture don't match the culture in our house. So here it is. Your self-worth is dependent upon what the world is telling you are. Right. How many friends you have on Facebook and Instagram? Those are not your real friends. I myself, as an adult, have bumped into people that are my friends on Facebook, and I look to say hello to them in the street, and they looking at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, we friends on Facebook. And I that was hilarious to me. But the truth is, we're not real friends.
What do you think is the number one punishment to take away from kids today?
Of course,
Oh,
it's
their
the device.
phone. Yeah, any electrical devices.
Take away their device.
And they lose their mind.
And when you don't take away their devices and you discipline them outside of taking the devices, they get on these devices to talk about you to whoever their world is on the device.
That's because parents are using devices to raise children.
Because they want to as babysitters.
They put devices in front of them, no matter, as long as they're in school, whatever age they may be, and they stay in their room or
long to keep us out of their face, basically.
Right, and they don't interact with them because they say, "Hey, go play on your computer, go get on your game," or when you get to the table, here's your phone. Look at cartoons while you eat, whatever case may be. It becomes a teaching mode that is really not the child's fault. It's the parents' fault for teaching them that way. So we have to be mindful on how we raise our kids and things of that nature.
Because y'all know what?
Now,
to be honest,
let me say this one last thing. This one son had something taken away from him, and he locked his parents out of their computer with a password. They try to lock him out, keep him. He locked them out because he knew about technology more than they did. So they had to come back to him.
Well, that's the problem.
Well, that's a level of respect. That child did not have respect from their parents.
Now you can ask me.
That child even had
That's ask me.
To have the audacity to think they could do that. No.
And we're gonna stack that right there. I pay for it. How about that?
Right.
No one won't have no devices. I don't pay for it. So you're absolutely right. It's an issue with respect, and that's where discipline comes into place. Because like Jesus said, this comes to a point where I have 2 boys. I'm not gonna be able to whoop them. Their dad is 6'5". Then my doctor told me they're gonna be between their dad and up to 6'8". Could you imagine me trying to beat someone 6'8"? It's a joke. I'm 5'5".
And
hit him on the knee. Hit him at the knee.
It's not mentally. That's not mentally healthy at a certain point.
I
want to add
any
something.
kids should have social media at all until they're 20 years
Charity
old.
was trying to say something after you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jason.
Back up to what you said about the children. I agree and disagree. You were saying, you know, it's the parents' fault. It's not the children's fault at all. I get that, but it's the sometimes that goes back to having the father in the home. Sometimes you only have single mothers working 2 or 3 jobs, and you know you need somebody to entertain your children, because by the time you get home you're tired or you're frustrated. You don't want to take it out on the children. I mean, every situation is different.
We
it's
can't
not
use that as no
always
excuse,
well. I mean, and
that is a real.
That's
That's
not an
a real
excuse. That's a
situation.
reason. That's not an excuse. That's a reason.
That's where.
No, that's an excuse.
Yeah.
That's
And
a real
it's not the only thing.
No.
There are some
I don't
people extra,
But you know what?
Going out and saying, "Hey, my kids get on my nerves," but you don't do nothing all day. But
Well, call
it
a
just
father to
depends
come
on the
pick 'em up.
situation.
Yeah.
You can easily just call a father to come pick them up.
That's something that we have to relearn too.
But everybody
And
don't have
we're
that option
learning
either.
as single parents,
True,
as
true,
single
indeed.
mothers, we think we have to do 2 and 3 jobs. Now I've been that single mother too, but because we're not re-educated ourselves, we have to understand that we don't have to. We just have to learn that we don't have to.
Amen.
And so because the main thing is we have to be present for our children. And so we have to learn to be more about
I totally
ourselves and our children than about the monetary.
I respectfully
If you
disagree.
gotta cook damn dinners at your house, if you gotta sling some hair braids from your damn kitchen, figure it out. Put your ass at home. See, so because you can sit there and rear your children, opposed to making sure that we're always out of our house and something else is rearing our children. Can I add something real quick? Let me add something real quick. When my children are young, let me tell you what I tell them, Eric, because you were talking about your son real quick when he was young. Let me tell you how I roll. All of them, when they were young, I taught them lying is a way of a devil. So if I ask them something, I put that in them. Lying is a way of a devil. So what ends up being like, before they go to tell that, are you sure that's the truth? And then they come and they'll give me what I'm looking for. Or they'll already get used to hearing me always say that they're just going to give me the answer. Because like Shinwoo said, it's like it's a fear. So if you kind of eliminate that while they're young, and you're saying, okay, now you're greater than that. That's why I'm telling you, lying is a way of a devil. That's not your way. That's not your way. That's not your way. That's a taught way. We were taught that way. We don't have to be that way. So
I don't want to monopolize the panel. I don't, and I want to make sure I'm giving everyone an opportunity to speak. But I agree with you to the point of speaking into them, because I say something myself. My ex says something, taught me something, and I use it. If you can lie, you can do anything. You can steal, you can kill. It starts with a lie. So watch the lie, because if you can lie, you can do any other thing.
Yeah, you're other than yourself.
But respectfully, sis, I disagree in terms of every woman having to find a way or must find a way to support herself in the home. Although through education or exposure, you're absolutely right, there are options within the home. But as was said on the panel by someone else, some of us do have to work. Thankfully, I don't have to work 2 jobs, but I'm in a position right now, as I'm trying to strategically do some things financially, I may have to take up a second job.
Oh, I'm talking from the single parent.
Right,
So
but listen.
marriage.
Right, but let's be honest. I think everything's still about choice. I think what Jimmy was saying, I think at the end of the day, you still made a choice to put your career first. There's still another choice.
Career or job?
I was going to say.
No,
because you gotta pay bills.
Wait. Let's right, my son. You got to pay bills, but sometimes we get ourselves in bigger bills because we're looking to get more money to get bigger things.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah. Right, but we all can live basic, but we choose not to. So you try to do extra stuff and find because you take something else. At the end of the day, you still made a choice that this. I mean, and you do have to support your family, but what I'm saying is that you don't have to live a certain lifestyle and go after this. And you're making a choice to put that first.
Anthony, you're not being fair. You're not being fair.
No, that's just being honest.
I know your truth and your role as a dad, and I know how you choose to provide. And you got a lot of hustles. And if you was a custodial parent, no, I'm just keeping it real. If you was a custodial parent and your kids lived with you right now, with all the hustles you have.
Listen, I'm not chasing anything. I'm just trying to provide for them. That's my own.
Mothers do that too.
Listen,
mothers try to. I have helped mothers go through their bills, and I have watched them. I'm helping them write their bills, and they don't have enough.
You could drive a 2001. You drive 2001 Nissan Sentra, but instead a person might say, you know what? I want a Mercedes-Benz. You could have settled some cheap. You got to get a higher paying job to get it.
Anthony, you're going
y'all not being honest. That's the truth.
I just want to make this one point. My one point is sometimes there are single mothers that doesn't have a father in sight. Not my case, but there are single mothers that doesn't have another parent in sight, and they have to work that second job because working that second job is them working two jobs to provide for their children or being on public assistance. So sometimes that is not an option. And it's not necessarily because they want something bigger or better. It's to provide some basic needs because minimum wage is what it is.
That person is doing that.
That's a generalization.
But did you know that cooking? But listen, cooking dinner. I'm just throwing this out as an example. It's just an example. Cooking dinner in your home and selling it is that second job. Do you know? I'm going to tell you what I've done.
If you cook good,
I made $45 in less than 1 hour. Less than an hour. Selling food. So I say this to say, if I go get that second job, they're not paying me $45 an hour. I'm just saying that when she's exposed, the single parent is exposed to more, then she will choose more options. She thinks she has to do it because her exposure is limited. When she gets more knowledge, she will understand that she can do more. But until then, we will think we can only do it this way. But the truth is, the facts are that it's not. It's just that we have to obtain more information.
I think it's just applicable to the situation, individual person.
Let me say this. I don't care if she had 3, 5, 6, 10, ever how many jobs. To me, that's not what matters to me. When you come home, you got children in your home. You have to commit to those children. I don't care if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever the case may be. I know every one of us got different financial needs and things of that nature. No matter what, when I came home from being in the military, I told myself the first 30 minutes I'm going to give to my children. And that's what I did. I don't care how tired I was from coming home being a recruit at night for 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. No matter what time it was, when I walked through the door, I played with my son on the floor for at least 30 minutes.
Transparent moment.
We have to give to our children because we birthed them, so we can't let the devices raise them, so we have to pour in them and stop making. And that's why I said, please don't take it the wrong way. That's why I said that's the excuses. That's the excuses mean I don't have time for my kids. No, I do. I got to make time for my kids, not because that's my priority. I have to put aside some of my lights so that I can train them in a way that they should be trained. Give them those play times that they need, because that's when they value those things the most. They can look back and say, oh, I remember my mom helped me with this. I remember my dad took me outside and played basketball with me. Although it was only 15 minutes, he was tired, but he committed. He had 4 jobs, but he committed to those 15 minutes to me. And that's all I want to say. I don't care how many jobs you have.
Hey, I like that. Hey, I can
I agree with that too. And you can also use moments like that to spend time with children when you're working all these jobs and then you got to come home and cook dinner. Don't just push them away. You can actually say, well, hey, little Johnny, come over here and stir this up for me. Those are moments created and memories created that they'll remember for a long time. So yeah, I get it. I get both sides of it. So you good.
And I get it too. I get it too. I'm glad that you was able to follow through with that point because it's a powerful point, E. But and that's why my basis is the importance of discipline and not just spanking. But to that point, what I'm saying is, I, as a transparent moment, being a parent, the structure that was needed to be a successful parent, the organization skills, I lacked it. So I struggled to be organized within my own life. So here it is. I'm trying to embed something to children that I lack. And I had to pursue it. It had to be an intent to be a good parent. I had to want. So when people come to me and they say, oh, you go out, you do this, I have a balance. I love to live good and have fun and experience things, but I love for my children to experience things because I have a personal belief that we have an intelligence of nature, of emotional intelligence, and you don't gain these intelligences unless you experience.
And you prove that, Shinwei. You prove how you went to a concert, how you went to a housewarming, a job opening, and how you went to see your son. That's called balance. And I love that about. Easy. I know it's not easy, but life is not easy. You know how many people have
criticized me, family members and friends. But let me just say, oh, you like to have a good time. I didn't. When last time you took your kids out? They don't know. I took my. It might not come off that harsh. They might not say it in those words, but that's basically what they're saying, right? And I have to personalize it because I'm in a state where no family member. I now have family members here, but I've been here for 10 years. It is a lot of juggling. It's a juggling act. So I can understand for someone who is trying to pay bills, trying to still have a life, possibly date, I don't know, possibly go back to school, but still want to do extracurricular activities with children, may go to church. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. And what I can say is for all of us, one thing we brought home is that discipline is absolutely necessary. I think we all agree that discipline on various levels, depending on the offense. And we agree. Spare the rod, spoil the child. So,
yeah. In addition to that scripture, a lot of people don't talk about the scripture where it says, fathers, don't provoke your children. And that's the part where the mental stuff feeding into your children. Feeding into your children. What are we feeding? Because are you telling your children that they're strong, that they're mighty, that they're smart enough, that they're beautiful enough, that they can do this, that you got their back? Do your children believe in themselves? As much as I give to my children, I see my children suffer with confidence. And it's not because I didn't speak into them. So could you imagine the parents who's not speaking into their children?
And so this is what we can leave for our Velvet Room listeners as we wrap up. Do your children believe in themselves? And what's your part in it?
Yeah, that's powerful.
Do your children believe in themselves?
The different dynamics and the different levels of parenting, the spanking, the discipline, how we're feeding into their mental stability, their spiritual growth, financial responsibilities, the different dynamics of it's not as clear as spanking.
Absolutely.
It's not that.
We're going to raise our glasses and we're going to raise our glasses to that.
Hey, this was a good topic. We could have went longer. I want to thank everybody for coming. Jim, what's that in front of you?
You got that.
Okay. All right, y'all. By the way, catch us next week for a meeting in the ladies' room and Man Cave Conversations. And we'll see you guys this week. Here's the love, peace, just everything positive, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And
good to have you, Charity. Good to have you, Charity.
Good to have you on, Charity.
Thank you,
Yes.
Have a good